Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. I've got something that I just stumbled into today that I think is going to be exciting and fun to do. It should be pretty cool. You can't see it because it's glary because of the lights on the plastic. So I'm just gonna take that plastic off right now so we can see what we've got. This is a box by Atlantis. Now, Atlantis is a cool company. Atlantis was started in 2009 by the original two founding members of megahobby.com, which is a very reputable, very cool online retailer of model kits and supplies and everything. What Atlantis does is they go and they buy old molds and tooling for some of the cool old companies, very vintage companies, and they re-release some of the classic old model sets, I guess we'll say, for lack of a better word. I'm trying to think of a better way to describe it, but when normally I say vintage and I think of things from my youth, these are things that predate me and my time by decades. So we're talking about, for example, a lot of their stuff is by Aurora, which was around, we're talking about in the 50s. And this particular little gift set, and I found it at a store called Ollie's, if you're familiar with it, $20 for 3 sets here. I just saw this, took my son shopping for something else, and there it was. Now, so we got to keep in mind that the model kits we're dealing with in here, they're, I think the youngest one in terms of molds and tooling is from 1963. The others are from the 50s, early to mid 50s. So we're not going to get the most accurate, kits. We're not going to get the finest details, but it's a cool way to build stuff that, quite frankly, my dad would have built, when he was a kid, which is really cool. So we've got two 1/48 scale kits, and then now this box says 1/102nd, but doing a little research on scale mates to see where the original molding came from, everything else I saw said that this should be a 1/98th scale with what they took it from. So I don't know if they changed some stuff around or anything like that, but the original Revell molds and the original Revell kits that this was, basically they bought. I don't mean taken like stolen, but they licensed it, they bought it. But the original Revell kit was 1/98th scale. So anyway, so we've got our 3 kits in here, and you've got your info for each one, and that's basically what you've got on the box. I haven't looked in it yet. Obviously, it's been wrapped up in plastic. So let's take a look at what we have. We've got some very basic decals, but again, back when these kits were originally released, these would have been the only decals they had. Like I said, not super detailed kits back then. So, oh no, my tracks are broken. It's okay though. We can fix that. We can fix that. We'll find a way. So looks like each kit is in its own sealed bag inside, and got a little ad for an airbrush system that I don't really care about right now. And let's see, is this a 1-page? Yep, this literally is a 1-page instruction manual for everything. So here we go. So we've got our decal application, we've got some general stuff. We start with our PT-207. I mean, decent enough illustrations. They look very clear right now. Obviously, I'd have to go through putting them together. The only ships I've ever built, I think when I was very young, I did 2 probably testers, one 7/20th scale aircraft carriers, and I probably did them terribly. So this will be interesting. Moving on, again, look at the, complete lack of detail in here, but this is what we've, this is basically, it's one page with one big step to assemble the H-25. Okay. And a little bit more complicated for the Sherman. We've got an Easy 8. There we go. Okay. I want to look at the Piasecki H-25 first, because I recently bought a large 1/48 scale Piasecki. I just have it. Here it is, H-21, the Shawnee, or the Flying Banana. I'm very interested in this because, I had just looked in the Italeri kit, and the difference really is night and day. And this is kind of cool though, because this is made from the exact molds and tooling. So this is what a kid from 1956 would have been assembling and playing with. So this kit goes back to Aurora. So remember, Atlantis bought the molding and tooling from Aurora. Aurora put this kit out originally in 1956, the H-25A. Helicopters for Industry originally made this molding in 1952. Aurora got it from Helicopters for Industry. But I'm not very familiar with the H-25, but it is it's very chunky plastic. Now I don't know if that's just the way Atlantis is doing it, or if that's going back to Aurora. There's barely any pieces. So you have, they've got an ejection mold, an ejection mark right there in the middle of this clear part, which is going to be a real pain in the ass to have to deal with. But again, I can't fault them, because that's the molding, that's the tooling that it was back then. There's some canopy frames that we're going to have to paint on here. But how does that fit even? Oh, it fits terribly. All right, awesome. Fantastic then. This is going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, that's our controls. I thought I saw a seat. Am I missing something? In the instructions, I thought I saw that there is oh, those are the seats. The seats are molded into the side. That's how creative. Detail is damn near nil. But I'm not. I want to make it clear. I am not complaining about it, because, like I said in the first place, we know that we are basically they're reissuing the exact kit that a kid or even an adult in 1956 would have put together, and they would have been happy to have it. And so we're going to do this, right out of the box. Of course, we'll clean it up, we'll sand, we'll fill, whatever, we'll paint. But this is exactly what somebody in the 50s would have had to put together. So I'm really looking forward to putting it together and putting it on the shelf, just as a display of what a real, truly vintage plastic model kit would have been like. So there's one. Okay. And again, very, very sparse decals there. Just this section right here. Oh, I guess we get all those. My mistake. But still, the decals, they're modern printing. They look very good. Can barely see the carrier film. Nice bright colors. No problem. Everything in register. On all of them, they all look great. So, looking forward to using them. Let's go with the PT boat next. You know what? We'll pass on my personal prejudices of what I like to build. We'll pass those over, and we'll go with the naval stuff. Ooh, there is flash involved. There's some on the Piasecki, but you really notice it on the PT boat. Now, like I said, I'm not a naval builder, so I'm sure there's a lot of people that would do a much better job on this than me. I don't know personally. Now, this is PT-207. We know that the most famous PT boat in American history is PT-109. I don't know if this is the same type. I'll do the research. It's the same type of boat. Oh, it's got little guys. We've got a gunner shooting. I don't know what that's supposed to be. I have no idea what that's supposed to be. Oh, that's nice. So we got the little American flag decal to go on the flag. That's actually really cool. But, you know, this would be a... I have no idea what kind of guns those are supposed to represent. I have to look it up. We've got little propellers. I mean, you know, like, once again, basic. This guy's nearly a conehead. Sorry, I'm not trying to make fun of it. It is just, oh man, look at these. Are these supposed to be guns? We got to straighten these out, and there's an even 50-50 chance these things are going to break. We might have to fix them with some plastic rod. But we'll do that if we have to. I got to learn how to paint Navy stuff. I don't even know what colors to paint it and everything. I'm sure there'll be something in the instructions. But this will be really interesting to do as well. And you know what's going to be nice about this? It's going to force me to do a little bit of research. And I always do research, you know, but there are some topics, some subjects I really know about, and I have to do much less. This is something I know nothing about. So that's cool. All right. So we've got our PT boat, and then we've got our Sherman. And I'll tell you, this looks like the best kit out of the whole thing. This also is an Aurora kit, 1968 molding, and it is. I mean, you could never compare it to anything today, but for a small scale tank, it doesn't look too bad. I'm not at all suggesting it would hold up in the detail arena, but I mean, compared to the Piasecki, this is worlds better. So it comes with 4 figures, minimally, I mean, very minimally detailed figures. But look, it even comes with little textured bases you can put your figures on. And I guess one is a commander for the tank. Oh, we lost the top of the turret. It even has, if you look, it's got molded on cast texture a little. I mean, that's pretty impressive in this small scale, but also in a I mean, not even 1970, a 1968 mold. Very, very basic detail on the side of the hull. And you can see that again, the bogies. Actually, you know what? I mean, not bad. Again, considering the time frame and everything. The wheels are slightly atrocious, but we know what they're supposed to be. They'll do. Sprockets are sprockets. We know what they're supposed to be, okay? But once again, considering the size and the time of this kit being put out, you got your spare tracks that are decent. You got your Pioneer tools. 50 caliber could be much worse. It's not great, but single piece main guns. We'll have to drill a hole in there. Or again, we could assemble it exactly as is and say this is exactly what a kid in 1968 would have been putting together. Very excited, actually. These should be very quick builds. I say that now, of course, and then I could run into all sorts of hassles putting them together. I'm not going to weather them up or anything. I'm just going to paint them. I'm going to put on decals. And we're going to put them on the shelf, and we're going to say this is what kids back in the day had. And I think it's going to be a really fun, exciting project to do. There are no windows for anything here in the fuselage. Just the one main window. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So I think that this is going to be a cool build, and we'll probably be able to do all 3 in like one video. Not going to be a very long video, I don't think. I mean, I could do a single video on each one of these. You guys tell me what you think. One video for all of them or a separate video for each one? What would you rather prefer? I would love to hear your thoughts on the vintage kits. I really like doing vintage kits. I think they're really cool. And I think it's great that Atlantis is putting out, and you know, they've done a lot. They've done a ton of older kits. I think it's awesome that they're making these classic kits available. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching this unboxing with me. I hope that you will be as excited about this whole thing as I am, and that we'll enjoy the builds together. For everybody building their own out in YouTube land, keep building them, build them well. I'll see you with the next video really soon. Get back here.